just wanted to make this video really to accompany the photos that I've put up, because I want to prove to you that it's a running bike, but I also want to be upfront and honest and show that there are a few quirks that you need to be aware of if you are going to make an offer. So at the moment, my battery in this bike is not holding charge. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the bike itself, and I'll prove that, but the battery itself is not holding charge. So I've got a workshop battery there, so give me a moment, I'll just set it up, I'll put it onto the battery, and I'll show you how I'll prove that the engine does take over and run. Okay, so here we are, all set up. We've got the jumper cables on there, going to mains power, so that's where the energy's coming from. And I'll just put the key in the ignition, get the neutral light. Oh, I better show you this. So these contacts here, they're no longer working. Okay, so normally what that would do is, as you pull in the clutch, that would tell the bike that the clutch is pulled in, allowing you to start the engine. We would need to replace, or you would need to replace, this clutch. All right, this housing here that doesn't work. The clutch itself, obviously cable actuated, it works fine, but these connectors don't work. What I've done is bypass that by those two connectors that would fit in there. I've just made something that fits between them, basically telling the bike that the clutch is pulled in, even though it isn't. All right, so we've got a neutral light. Here's your choke, so put that on, and I'll just show you. This is a complete cold start. Okay, I can leave my hands here. I can hold on to all of this. Complete cold start. So we've got our choke on, neutral light. It's just the electric start. There we go, that should prove to you that the engine itself is in good working order. But there's a couple of other things I want to point out to you. So one of the problems you're going to find with this bike is the fuel tap. You can see I'm running it on prime at the moment. So you've got your reserve tap up there, then you've got prime, and if I turn it to on, you should see fuel leaking. Okay, so there's a problem with the valve. So as long as it's on prime, when you're running it, you're absolutely fine. When I finished running it, I put it onto reserve, and that it's not leaking in that set where that is. Okay, so I leave it in reserve. When I want to run the bike, I put it in prime, and when I finish my journey, I put it back to reserve. Obviously not ideal. It's something I've just done to cope with it, but ideally you'd want to be replacing the fuel tap. As you can see here, we've got installed some heated grips. You can vary in power levels depending on how cold it is. You can see there's a battery saving mode as well. So if you do forget, if you get to your destination, forget to turn it off, this will turn off automatically. But you can just turn it off like that. These have been, it's been absolutely superb in colder weather, so would highly recommend. And obviously they come with the bike. And I suppose, as you can see here, it's worth me pointing out that this is not in any way a pristine bike. All right, so there are spots of rust that may need to be addressed. The paint is obviously peeling. It has been used as a commuter, and as such it has those signs of wear, so just be aware of that if you are going to make an offer. But other than that, I think I've covered everything.